You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. This is Jerry, and I'm about to, let me throw it over to my host, the host.
I'm here.
Gabi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our BGG Spring episode, where we are recording live in studio, although it's going to be in the past when you listen to this. Just got to clarify that right away, because I know it's going to confuse people. They're going to say BGG Spring, that was like 3 weeks ago, or maybe when they're listening to this, it's like 2 years ago. BGG Spring 2025. I'll just go ahead and date it. That way we know exactly when this happened.
Okay.
Currently, we're in the room with 4 grown men. It smells like dirty socks in here. One pair of dirty socks may be Enrique's to my left.
Oh, I thought you actually were talking about a dirty sock under my left. But yeah, it's me, the lovable Enrique. Hello.
Okay.
Self-proclaimed lovable.
That came in hard.
And with us, a brand new BGG first-timer, freshly kind of into games, and he has dove head first into some hardcore gaming. Harrington.
Hello.
He's British.
Apparently.
Sometimes.
He's apparently British. Apparently British.
He's British.
What's
every
with
now
When
and
I
then.
feel like it.
What's with you dragging all these Brits onto the show all the time?
And
like an invasion.
me and Dan had a episode right before this one in which we talked about an assortment of things.
I hate it when you break the fourth wall.
And
We
so
love breaking forth.
and so this is as of this live recording, we are 3 days in. This is Saturday. We've played games on Thursday. Well, first we showed up Wednesday and went bowling. Jerry says nobody cares about that. Even though I defeated all of y'all for
Yeah.
one game.
What game did you do?
I was gonna say-
It was
like-
129 for me, 114 for you, 126 was Ryan. Enrique next at 94, and Harrington's kind of new to bowling as well, so he scored about 40-something points.
Yeah, I was still getting warmed
And
up.
I defeated all of y'all, and
That was the warm
y'all
game,
really enjoy
wasn't it?
bowling and
Do you-
have like your own shoes,
you want a
your own
cookie?
balls.
I like that.
You have all this specialized equipment.
Yeah.
Yet here I come, I just ran a few things and defeat you. How does that make you feel?
You were
It
chunking
doesn't
that
make me
ball.
feel anything at all.
You
Well,
expressed
when you
yourself
use an
that day.
8-pound
No.
ball and just chunking down the lane
Listen.
and
listen.
just demolish those pins, I would assume you would be
I
winning
was too
every
busy
game anyway.
talking to Ryan, and not only talking to Ryan, finding out what's happening in his life, and admire once again a very athletic fellow.
Fantastic
Ryan.
calves.
You said what we were all thinking. Harrington even pointed them out and said, "Did you not? Did you? Right? You saw."
You saw those
They-
fantastic
I remember,
I did.
sculpted
Those were
calves.
great calves.
Okay, I'm just making sure you were there. Okay, so it's
And he's very tall. He's quite the figure.
He is.
Yeah.
yes.
And he's handsome. And he has I like his mustache.
His mustache.
it
Yeah,
is a
he can
good-
pull that
good
off.
mustache.
You can peel that off. So yeah, that was. But yeah, people
So that
don't
was
really.
Wednesday.
It's hard to describe bowling.
Yeah, I mean,
To
if you,
listeners.
and most, bowling, it's
We miss you, G off
although I did break a sweat because y'all decided to bowl 2 lanes at once.
tournament style.
It wasn't even that bad. I
And
wasn't even sweating.
Yeah, I was out of breath. Of course, I'm a large, morbidly obese man, so it was a little tough on me. Y'all wore me out. We played about 6 games.
Oh no, it was more than that. Was it?
I played
It
maybe
was a
6 games. Y'all kept
We kept it going.
rolling,
Kept going,
left.
man, till midnight.
and then so that was it. So then comes Thursday, bright and early. I don't know what did y'all play anything before I got here?
We
Before
played
Captain's
the
Chair.
game of life. We did. We did do something this the first morning, didn't we? We went and got checked in.
Yep.
We made our way over to the hotness. We looked around said hotness, and then I abandoned Enrique with Tim and Betsy and David to play some game about swallowing metal.
Oh
Flip
yeah,
Michigan,
Mistborn.
the game.
Yeah,
Mistborn.
Mistborn.
It's a game apparently where the theme is people ingest certain metals and they metabolize them somehow. It's supposed to be a
like-
book.
Gain certain powers.
Yeah,
from
they
different
like kind of
metals.
expel it or
Yeah.
How
are
do you
able to
expel it? Like through
I don't
various
know.
Your
orifices?
pores. Your pores.
Oh,
yeah,
so you
your
painful.
pores, or you were able to manipulate these certain medals are where you
So
can.
you just bleed out metal?
I guess so. I'm not sure how this worked.
They're all into heavy metals.
Yeah,
Who won? Did you like it?
I actually liked it quite a lot.
Is it a
because
new game?
I actually don't know if it was a new
Enrique is
game.
not one to get the dates of things correct.
Yeah,
nor
I'm
the
I'm not
up-to-date.
much of a date man,
But
but
I
it was
did
an
met up with
interesting
you.
game nonetheless.
And we played Captain's Chair, Star
Mhm.
Trek,
Star Trek.
which we
Captain's Chair.
discussed earlier amongst ourselves privately because you're a big Star Trek fan.
I love Star Trek.
Harrington.
I am also a huge Star Trek.
Me and Harrington talked for 3 hours about Star Trek and Star Wars, and I found out
We did.
something very interesting.
I noticed his gold captain shirt he wore the other
He
day.
wore a
I
Kirk's
was very
captain shirt.
proud to wear that yesterday.
I was very okay. I'm just going to say, I don't think he'd ever get mistaken for Chris Pine, but you have to look at him, the hair, the face, the whole 9 yards. If he was going to be a body double / stunt man, this is who you'd get.
He
Chris
could-
Pine.
I pulled that off.
He could do it.
Yeah.
You got hair
Yeah,
I do.
that's
and you're white
check,
Yep.
check,
and you're
and similar hair. Yeah, check.
Decent
There you
shape,
go. There you go.
And you're
Decent shape.
sometimes British.
3 times British.
There we go.
Either way, fascinatingly, he's not a big Star Wars fan. Harrington is.
I chose my side. I'm
no
a
crossover,
Trekkie.
huh?
No crossover.
Unfortunately not.
And we discussed that in a very detailed manner on our drive up here. And I just think that I find that to be very interesting because you see most people who are Trekkies, the Star Wars, they all overlap.
Yeah, I mean that's what I saw that many years ago. There was that movie where they're like the Star Wars guys trying to watch Phantom Menace before it's released because their friends dying. I forgot what it's called. And like they hated Star Trek people, and the Star Trek people hated the Star Wars people. I'm like, I grew up watching both. I always liked both. I didn't really
But if
realize
you
there
had
was
to choose,
If I had to choose, I'd go Star Trek.
okay,
My man.
I'm always Star Wars, man. Like, for me,
I think that Star Wars, if we just looking back at not anything new now, I'm cutting it off. Just saying from when I was formulating this opinion, which would have been in my young age, the Star
After
Wars,
Return of the Jedi.
Star Trek, that type of thing. Well, I don't even go that far back because Next Generation was at 89. So, and really, Next Generation is like my favorite. Then you kind of
TNG is the best.
then you've got Deep Space Nine, which a lot of people liked, and then Voyager. I think the thing is, and I'll say it this way, I think Star Wars is a classic. And I think what we are all nostalgic about is those original films and that era of it, like that whole thing. Whereas Star Trek speaks to each generation differently. So you have the original Star Trek, the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. Star Trek, to me, is not so much about nostalgia, whereas Star Wars tends to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I
okay,
would.
yeah.
However, I guess it would depend on Enrique's generation, but I know many people that, even though us older people consider them terrible, the prequels are some people's Star Wars.
Exactly. The Clone Wars, the
Clone
the anime.
Wars.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying is that with this though, and I thought about that as well. I think though is that Star Wars is better in a very myopic view, like a big galaxy type thing overall, whereas Star Trek is more about like fundamental moral, ethical dilemmas.
This is what yes, I agree.
It's like the thing of Star Trek being, we don't know if this is right. Even the Federation at times is like, we're doing some bad stuff. Whereas Star Wars is always, you don't cut your kid's hand off.
Right.
You know, that type of thing.
Very clear cut good versus evil.
Very-
And also Star Wars is just because they've all been movies up until recently. It's a cinematic world, whereas Star Trek, you had people like buying diagrams of the Enterprise and learning how the Jeffries tubes operate, and it's just like that Galaxy Quest movie.
Right.
I mean, there's people that drill down to the technicalities of Star
they
Trek.
still do that in Star Wars too.
But not to the same degree, because a lot of like, so many things are now explained. Like, how did Han Solo get to, the 12 parsecs or whatever it was, 10 parsecs.
Parsec's not a measure of speed. It's
I know.
a light of a
You said it's hard. So, and like what powers their ships, that wasn't explained till
dilithium crystals.
not in Star Wars.
I know, but Star Trek.
But yeah. But like a lot of the details of how does this ship operate, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Because in Star Wars, nobody cares. They just want Luke to fight Darth. Whereas in Star Trek,
I wanted to
we're
see
worried
Slave
about
Leia. I don't know about you. I don't- Harry, don't laugh at that. Either way,
But anyway.
but
So Star
I
Trek Captain's Chair,
was very thematic.
and you say thematic because there's lots of print. The artwork on the cards is good on some and cartoonish on others.
Well,
which
it's
is
because the
weird.
characters that you were looking at were from the cartoon series.
So Riker looks good as Riker,
Riker always looks
and
good.
then one of those Klingons looked like something from a cartoon series.
Beardless Riker or Bearded Riker? Season 1, go.
God, bearded.
I'm going to say this right now. I know this is controversial. But Beardless Riker hit different.
No.
He did. Here's why. He seemed younger and more athletic. And he didn't have that weird gait. That kind of like he had like a
He's
stroke.
walking like his back
sideways
hurts
because his back hurts. Whereas, like, we already had one old man on the ship.
Yeah.
We had Picard, and so we don't need 2 senior guys. Here's the thing. It really messed me up. I'm gonna just sidetrack briefly. Battlestar Galactica,
Side Trek.
Colonel Ty and Adama. They're both old grumpy men.
Mm-hmm.
You need one grizzled commander, and then you need the guy that was supposed to be.
But
Riker.
beard doesn't mean old.
But with Riker, it seemed like he gained weight. He didn't look as youthful. I'm not saying I like the beard. I have a beard. Everybody in this room is bearded.
This is true.
Yeah.
I'm just saying is that Riker, the character, when he didn't have the beard, it just seemed like, I'm saying if he didn't have that beard, I think he would have hooked up with Deanna Troy quicker. Because here's why. No, because you're wrong, and the fact that you would say that shows that you're wrong. What's the first thing they did when they got back together at first contact? They shaved. Insurrection. She shaved.
It's been a long time since I read.
She shaved him. So that's the thing.
It's been a long time since I read Minari.
Here's the thing.
She shaved.
Here's the thing.
Is that the name of the book?
No, she was in the bathtub. She's shaving Riker.
What was the book? Minari?
I
That might be the Korean show with Stephen Young.
I'm just saying.
There was a book that came out that was all about their relationship.
I didn't pay attention to that.
That's another thing. I read all the Star Wars books too.
Yep.
See, that's the thing. So like Star Wars, if you take the original trilogy with the books, I like that universe. So that's why I can't. I like both. I'm not going to choose one or the other.
I would choose one of them.
Although I did earlier.
But you
I said
just
Star
did.
Trek.
So, see, you're a hypocrite.
So anyway,
Either way,
Star Trek Captain's Chair, a deck building game. We played it. We stopped playing it.
I think that the mechanism of what I didn't like about it was you get a hand of cards, and like in most deck building games, and this is the one little caveat that I have about deck building games that gets me each time. When I drop that hand of cards, it's telling me what to do. It's very obvious. I can see the thing that I need to do. I don't have a choice in what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so thus the way that you mitigate that is by being able to obtain cards and add to your deck quickly, because now you can change it up very quickly. This didn't seem like I could change up my deck fast enough, although thematically, the game of putting people on your ship, moving your ship over here, recruiting people, all that all made sense. All the theme was there. All that was great. It's just my nitpickiness with deck building. This game was dripping with theme. And so if you're a Trekkie and you like deck building, you must get this game. If you're a solo player, probably so, even much more. But as for me, this is one that as I'm looking at it, delving into it, going, I would not play this solo.
I looked at my deck and it felt hollow.
Mm-hmm. That was actually a very good joke, and I would laugh at that. What was the next game we played?
The next game we played was Corpse of Discovery.
Core of Discovery. Enrique played that with us.
A
It was
game
a very
set in the
simple
world
game.
of Manifest Destiny.
From what it was.
What is your destiny?
My destiny? Who knows?
The Emperor would say, it's your destiny.
That's true. Nobody knows your destiny,
No one knows my destiny.
but you can create your destiny. You can manifest it.
Pretty
Apparently.
sure you're going to die at a young age, though. I'm just going to say that.
I like the way he's lounged out, though. He's like
I like the fact that we're all sitting up, and Enrique, I'm going to take a picture of Enrique for this
do not
podcast.
move, Enrique.
Just hold on. Do not move at all. This is breaking the third wall. But this is the type of stuff that we have to document for people. This is us recording.
Enrique is as chill as one can get. Harrington's sitting up like a respectable young man.
He has great posture.
He does.
Great posture.
I have to sit
Well,
like this, so because this cord isn't as long as it seems.
Cores of Discovery.
It's actually core. We're being facetious.
Corpse.
Although Enrique pronounced it corpse.
I'm sorry.
and I had to relay
If
to
it
him.
has a P in it, it's going to
Have
be
you ever
used.
heard of the Army Corps of Engineers?
No.
Have you heard of the Marine Corps?
Yes.
Okay.
So for
It's
whatever
got a P in
reason,
it.
because of the English language, the P and the S is not
It's
pronounced.
silence.
Man, how did that became to be anyway?
We're not going to discuss the English language.
Dang.
How does that becomes the B?
How did-
Talking of the English language. Let's just ignore that.
So Core of Discovery is
I
go ahead.
Kickstarter that I kickstarted, and for some reason I kickstarted it thinking, this is going to be like Robinson Crusoe with something else. And it's very basic and very easy and very cooperative and still not very cooperative. Because here's the thing. With this game, overproduced, it's wonderful artwork. It was just like playing Cryptid, but with a different little theme to me of trying to figure out where these resources at that I'm trying to get so I can use them to defeat a problem. Here's my problem with co-op games. There are always the problem with co-op games. There tends to be two types. Either there's a type that I know what we need to do and I'm going to tell you what we need to do, or there's a type that I don't need to tell anybody what to do. It's very obvious what you're going to do. Everybody just makes the decision of the most efficient way. And you kind of all feel, okay, whatever, it's 50-50, go ahead. I think the best co-op games are the ones where we're not able to make decisions as a team. Or if we do, we have to fight over it. We're arguing about it. It's intense. I feel like we have to do this thing. And somebody else is going, no, it's this thing. It's that drama. And there's just not that many that have
So
that drama.
name one in that genre, that style of
The
co-op.
Den of Wolves is one. That's a mega game. I'm saying something like where you don't have complete control over your or communication with your team. I'm thinking of one of my favorite co-op games, the Flight Team, because we can't talk.
Sky Team.
I said Flight Team, Sky Team. Flight Team would have been a better term, but Sky Team, okay, whatever. It could probably translate something different.
I think one of them would be Nemesis, wouldn't it?
Nemesis, well, Nemesis is not co-op, but it kind of is in sort of kind of ways. In certain ways, you have objectives.
We were fighting
Like-
each other.
but we
Technically,
fought.
it's man.
Robinson Crusoe was kind of that way too, because it was we need to do this thing, and there's too much stuff to do, and everyone's going, well, no, I actually need this, and there's just not that many co-ops that I like, and this one I purchased thinking, well, this might be a good solo, or well, this might be something, and it bombed. I did not like this game at all.
Well, it's not even that. It was just
It was boring.
You
it was
just
very
point and
boring.
guess.
Yeah,
boring.
point and guess.
It was boring.
You might survive.
There's a
You
little
might
bit
not.
of a table that kind of tells you a stick might be close to a rock,
And you need
the
the
rock
stick.
is orthogonally
Do
adjacent
you
to
need
some
the stick?
water. Yeah.
Didn't
Yes.
go to there.
Mud.
We
Yeah,
fought
it was in-
Minotaurs.
Yeah.
Which, really? Minotaurs? Really?
In the world of manifest. Now, why? I don't know why they get I don't know where this comic book gets this. Why
I
are there
guess I need to
minotaurs
read
in the
comic
woods?
books.
But anyway, yeah, it was not a very good game. So then after this, we split.
We did.
Well, we were already split because Harrington and Enrique were doing their thing. But then me and Jerry split. Jerry went off to play John Company.
Me and Enrique.
Oh
went.
yeah, me and Jerry went.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
That was fun.
That was
I stayed
amazing.
behind with some of the Bowers
If you
and some
had,
new friends and played Wonderland's War.
if you had to think,
I was also playing Wonderland.
you played. Yeah, you.
You were in it. That's
yeah,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
My bad.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
He
My
ignored.
bad.
He doesn't remember
Oh,
But
well,
here's the thing.
even I didn't remember what happened
See,
when
thank
we
you.
played that.
at John's company.
That was the
John.
best. Me and Jerry
He doesn't
were,
own it.
We were killing it.
We did own it.
We did.
Enrique was the best prime minister.
I was passing laws like
he
like-
passed more laws than kidney stones.
yeah.
I somehow managed to be the chairman the entirety of the game, a feat for which I feel as if none have achieved. and Cole Worley should sign a copy and send it to me. Just saying.
You need recognition.
I need desperately need somebody to email me at boardgamesnobs@gmail.com.
What was that? Was that your number 2, number 3?
It was up there. It's high. I love John Company.
Do you still think Brass is your number 1?
Yeah. John Company is...
What keeps John Company from being your number 1?
Here's a reason. Number 1, if I had to completely abstract out the time limit constraint and the complexity and everything, just look at it as pure fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of building and developing something with Brass, with the cards and everything of that nature, and having a plan. Whereas in John's Company, you can kind of have a plan, but it's not long term. It's that round. And then the next round, it's like you're living in a new world because your people have died off. Somebody else is the trade minister. Somebody else is voting. And you're just having every year is a new year. And it feels as it should, because the game is about spanning generations. So it shouldn't be, I start the game and I have this plan. No, you can't start John Company and go, I'm going to crash the company.
Yeah.
It won't work that way.
Yeah, because there's other players. The other players are going to stop you from doing that.
Yeah, and we played with Chad and Tim and David. And David, again, did the thing that I love because it reminds me of myself, is that you
love yourself.
I love myself. What's the sentiment?
Oh, God.
I love this. I
Do you
love
love
myself.
yourself?
Sometimes.
No, you love yourself. Enrique.
I do.
Jerry, you know how I am.
I know.
Yeah,
You
look
don't
at
even
it.
Like, you don't even have to ask me.
There's
about
nobody in love with
The only,
Enrique.
the only person who doesn't love themselves is Gabi here. He thinks it's bad to have any type of love for oneself. But here's the thing.
No, I don't. I wish I did.
Oh, you wish you did.
I wish I did.
Oh, I wish you would too. I'm just saying is that David, he didn't need no instructions. He didn't know how the game played. You sat down, they said, David, you're a British man and you're trying to get your family in these positions. And when the time comes, we'll tell you what to do. And David,
war crimes.
but David was Mr. War Crimes, Mr. Wheeling and Dealing. And Chad started a new...
It's in his genes. He comes about honest.
Chad could not roll dice to save his life. It was very funny. We now have a inside joke about remember Bengal, because like the army ended up being just
like the East could not get anything handled.
Thankfully, we got China going, got some opium that kept us afloat for a while.
There you go. Start feeling better.
Bombay was pretty bad.
Bombay was ghetto.
Yeah, Bombay was ghetto.
We had a rough time in Bombay. There was some stuff that happened.
The moment I left Bombay is the moment it went downhill.
It got so bad in Bombay. Enrique left and was like, I don't even want it, and left me there. It's bad.
And then I came back to actually get some order done, and I actually did.
He did.
The company did fail.
The company did fail because Tim decided to fail the company. What happened is he got a vote. Enrique, every round, maintained prime minister. Every vote was positive. Suddenly, Tim decides he's going to crash the game, defeats Enrique, ends up becoming prime minister, which was devastating. And then Tim just decides he's just going to crash the company, see what happens. He wanted to see the world burned, and he did. He burnt the company down, not just with his own purposeful actions, but with Chad's incompetence with the military. Because I set the best budget. We were budgeting.
Yeah, we were.
Everything you did was fantastic.
I budgeted hard. Enrique,
yeah, it was going. We had I don't know how many ships we had out there.
We were budgeting.
We had 8, 9 ships out there.
So when it finally crashed,
I have no doubt.
The company crashed. I was the chairman, and I still won. That's how hard I budget.
You're on top of it.
CPA.
So
nice.
While y'all were playing that, me and Harry. Was it okay if I call you Harry?
Sure.
That's rude.
Hair.
Colin.
Why don't we just call you
the Harriman?
Colin,
I do have a lot of it.
H-Town.
Why does nobody ever go for like the last half of a name? Like, is it okay if I call you Ington?
Ington?
Earrington?
Like they're good with calling you Harry. That's 2 syllables. Why not Ington?
Because Ington is not a word or a name.
H-Ton.
H-bomb.
That's
No.
another one I have been called.
All right, I'll just call you Harrington.
Because I
think Harrington's better.
I started calling him H-bomb.
I like Harrington.
Even though it's
very prestigious.
Halfway.
I like to think so.
You sound British.
Yes.
Not with your voice. But
Remember
with your
Nagasaki.
My name is
So we
British
played
enough.
Wonderland's War, Harrington and I. We played a full 5 complement. It's the Alice in Wonderland themed game,
I
in
hate
which
Alice
for some
in
reason,
Wonderland.
I don't know
do
why.
not. I love Alice in
You
Wonderland.
love Alice?
He was
I
telling
do,
me
I
he's
do.
got the books, he's seen all the movies, he's seen the cartoons.
Yep.
He's thoroughly
Really?
into Alice in
Tell
Wonderland.
me
Okay.
what you
I
like
am.
about Alice.
This whole whimsical world where nothing quite makes sense. You can do anything, be anything.
What would you be?
Hmm.
A worm.
I'd like to think
I think he said warm.
that I'd hang
Yeah,
out
I
with
said
the Mad
worm.
Hatter. We'd
Worm?
be drinking
Yeah,
tea,
worm.
Okay.
making hats,
It's a
exploring.
yeah, no stress. Just
Right?
drinking tea, making
Yeah.
hats.
Yeah.
Oh,
no
the
stress.
people who made hats went crazy because the chemicals used to make said hats. That's why they were called the Mad Hatters.
Right. So,
So
once you
you're
go
basically-
mad, then you're just creating chaos and having fun.
Yeah.
Do you
The
think being
definition of
mad
mad.
is fun?
He likes it.
He's not mad.
You're mad
Wishes
sometimes.
he was. I think one should ask
Perhaps.
somebody who is constantly mad, such as I.
Yeah.
Oh, you're using mad as in the term of angry. I thought you were talking more like the insane, like he's gone mad.
Well,
So you think
technically it's
insane
both.
people are happy?
Yeah, they can be.
sometimes.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending.
I've not seen
Because they're unaware of their surroundings oftentimes.
Yep.
They're unaware of how bad things are because they're insane.
Yeah, they don't know
No,
what
not
type
all
of
of them,
emotion.
don't get me wrong, but some people.
I think you need to talk to Dan Hughes about this.
So
Was he
anyway,
mad?
Wonderland's War, it's Alice in Wonderland themed game. It's a bag builder game. I don't know if they're all beautifully produced like that, but they have minis. I think other games have standees. Betsy really wanted to paint those minis, and they would be
Betsy
totally awesome.
I am
Yeah.
super jealous of Betsy's painting skills.
She showed
Is she
us
that
some.
good?
She's that
And-
good.
and so-
Betsy is
Painted. She
Betsy
did
is
very well.
insanely good.
Mad.
Mm.
As
She's madly
somebody,
good.
as somebody
She's
who's
mad-
mad,
madly
she's
good.
mad about painting.
I'm okay. We got that joke out of the way.
You
Well,
had
hold
to.
on. So what happens in Wonderland's War is
What? Insanity?
you gather your tokens, put them in the bag, your starter tokens. You attend a tea party. At the tea party, that's when you're able to gather other tokens. That sets your table, so to
Have
speak.
you ever been to a tea party?
No,
I would like to.
We should do that.
I don't like
We
tea.
should have a tea party.
I love tea.
You don't
Bubba,
like tea?
Bubba loves tea. That's how
Okay,
we
great.
bond.
You know what? I don't think I've drank.
I'm happy for y'all.
I don't think you drink tea. I think
I-
you've ever
I know
drank
I
tea.
haven't. I don't know. I know for a fact I
I
don't
drink
drink
lemon
tea.
ginger.
I would like to
I've
drink
had
No,
tea.
no, I'm
chamomile.
talking about hot tea.
There's
Not
hot
iced
tea.
chamomile.
I don't
Not
drink
sweet.
cold tea. I've had lemon ginger. I've had chamomile. That's probably about the extent of it because I will drink those.
Tea would solve all your problems.
I would drink those.
Tea would solve your problems because tea is known to be like stress relieving, sleep, everything
I've
that
had
you're
green
lacking.
tea. Yeah.
You need tea.
I don't like it.
You're low tea.
I knew that
You
joke
put
was
honey
coming.
in
I
it?
made that joke when we
You
were
need
sitting
more
around
tea
the
in
table
life,
at Wonderland's
Bobby.
War.
But what? Well, thanks for that. I'm just saying.
I'm interested in matcha. I tried, even though I hear it's nasty.
Yeah.
Matcha?
Matcha is very interesting. It's a a very earthy, green.
It's supposed to be really good for
tea.
you.
See, notice he
is.
didn't say smooth. He said earthy green. He described the tea.
Dirt.
I could taste it.
Tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what earthy
not-
means.
That's not what it means.
Tastes like you just got a mouthful of the earth.
so you're picking up these tokens, and these tokens to help you battle because the tokens are like number based,
What are you
2,
talking
3,
about?
Yes.
and you go around the table, and once you get 4 cards round ends, you go to battle.
All right, battle.
And you can battle in a variety of ways. And the thing I said to Jerry previously,
You said this?
off record,
Oh, yeah.
now it's going to be on record,
Put it on record.
is that I don't think Jerry would like it. And I don't know that I like it.
Alice
And I don't know that I like it. You can throw the battle to earn your quests.
Mm.
Yes. You had
So
quests.
there is several people that were winning battles, and they were far ahead of me on the thing that tracks your scores,
The victory point track.
score tracker.
Glad you got that lined up.
Sometimes it takes me a while to
Just
get
saying,
there.
you got this. So glad.
But I was just questing, drawing
Quest
cards,
hard.
drawing cards.
Quest hard.
Queasty.
And that's what Jerry hates at the end of his games. This is what Jerry doesn't like at the end of games. I didn't hear it.
Go ahead.
But Enrique,
No.
I like when Enrique thinks he said something funny.
But it
No.
said-
And I don't know what y'all said
Listen,
because I missed it.
Get done because I have a,
But
I have a
Enrique
story I
likes
got to tell.
he laughs very heartily.
Oh yeah.
Tell
I-
the story.
I-
Hurry up and get done.
So, but what happened and what Jerry doesn't like is a person that's visibly in the lead the whole game And then I've played enough with you. I know what you like. You think you're in the lead, and then at the end of the game, but I've got all these bonus cards that I achieved.
Yeah.
Oh,
So at the
bonus.
end
And I
of
have
the game,
surpassed
you.
you.
Count up all
I like
those.
those bonus
and-
cards.
So after that,
Yes, after the Alice in Wonderland.
y'all, we reconvened all together, but in one hot room at two different tables. Jerry plays Moonrakers with Harrington. Again, this is Harrington's first BGG.
Yeah, I was jumping.
And other than
all-
this, Harrington has played party games.
What?
I didn't play Scythe, and he's plays
played Scythe?
Cosmic.
I've played I've
party
played
game.
something.
Oh, please.
But nothing
Cosmic.
to the scale of games you've been
I
playing.
know
No,
Gobby
no,
likes
this
to think
is a
Cosmic
whole
is a
different
party
level.
game.
I hate Cosmic. Anyway, so you
As
played
we've
Moonrakers.
discussed.
We've discussed this.
Moonrakers.
How wrong he is.
And at the other table, I was playing Pax Pamir.
No likes Cosmic. My friend Tom.
Pax Pamir, still an excellent game.
I love you, Tom.
Love it. Moonrakers, you still love it?
I think I ranked it incredibly
Moonrakers
high,
is
and I
great.
won it again.
And Harrington, what did you think about it?
I liked it.
He loved it.
What did you like about
He
it?
loved it.
Well, I do typically love space games,
See,
so it
I knew he
I
loved
like
it.
space. I like space games.
I need space.
And it wasn't too complicated, but it wasn't too simple either. It
That's
was a
exactly- that's me.
Right there. They're
I love
at
it.
the perfect spot.
Perfect. Sweet spot.
All right. So that was Thursday.
Tell me more about Aquafina.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather not. All right. Well, until next week when we discuss other games.
Yeah. Guys, let's make a note in our calendars and please meet back together next
Let's
week.
do it. Let's
Because
get
we
back and
certainly
discuss
can't
things.
record things all in one big
No,
throw.
no, not going to do that.
Why not?
We
We-
can't.
we won't.
Gobby says
Oh.
that's wrong.
We
and
gotta
it's breaking
reconvene
the
and-
fourth
We got to
wall.
reconvene and all meet together again and record a separate whole podcast
Yes, we must leave now
at the appropriate
Okay.
time.
and
Okay.
definitely not
Let's
stay in
disperse.
room
Where-
1073.
Stop.
And
Stop. They're
another
gonna show
one.
up in droves.
I wish they would.
I'm Gobby.
This is Jerry.
Harrington.
This-
Entry level knowledge, expert level nonsense, discussing anything and everything, and sometimes board games. Sometimes Enrique shows up.